Hi, we're with NOLA Water. They're passionate about water projects, and we want to hear a little bit what they have to say. And I'm going to ask them some immigration questions specifically about the EB5 program. But what do you guys do?
I'm the executive director, and this is Kennedy.
Hi, I'm the state policy coordinator.
Yeah, and so our organization focuses on championing water as a human right in all of Louisiana. So we do a lot of work around advocacy, policy, water testing, and we do a lot of arts and culture programs. We have our own podcast with 80 of us out here meeting with our congressional members to advocate for water nationwide because it's a nationwide problem.
Tell us a little bit about what is the problem with water.
Where do I begin? I'll probably maybe summarize it in like 3 buckets. So like one is affordability, and most people can't afford their water bills anymore. Roughly, like I said, 48 million people in America are struggling to pay their water bills because water is becoming privatized. It's becoming more expensive because the infrastructure is aging. And really the federal government has defunded water utilities it used to be paid for with grants. Now it's all loans, and they have to pay back those loans. So now they're putting, of course, like everything in America, on your back to pay for. The other problem is, of course, quality. We have lead that's in our water systems. We have PFAS, we have microplastics. And then I think the last thing is really, like, of course, climate change, right? We can't keep up with sea level rise, saltwater intrusion. And in Louisiana, we're dealing with all these problems at the same time.
That's right.
We're struggling in all these areas. So that's why we're here. We're the only organization focused on all of these issues in the state of Louisiana. And so that's why we're here. And also, just because we're a red state does not mean we're a red state. There's more people in Louisiana that are registered Democrats. We've had multiple Democratic governors. And I think a lot of it's because of a lack of understanding and education and engagement. So that's what we really try to focus on, is that everybody in Louisiana cares about these issues. They care about climate change. It's really about making sure people have a seat at the table.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
The EB5 immigration program allows an investor to invest $1 million and their family gets a green card. The big question is, where should they invest? Until I met you guys, I thought it was just a government problem. Government will fix it. But just like everything else in America, everything is privatized. So here's $1 million. What project would you recommend this investor?
I think, honestly, the water quality issue is really big. There is not a lot of data in terms of what's going on with microplastics and how they affect us. We don't know how it affects us in the long terms, and I think that data is super important. Not to scare anyone or not to, make people fearful of their own water, but just make it known that this is an issue. So I think that's my answer. I'll let you answer too.
So you would hire people to do more research?
Absolutely.
Right?
The research piece is very important. We did our own testing studies on heavy metals and different types of chemicals because people don't know about it.
Right.
I think the data is important.
Who would you hire to do the research? Can high schoolers, can college students,
Absolutely. I would never want to put private companies in charge of this issue, as you know.
Right.
So I would definitely put high schoolers, college students, community-based organizations, local groups up to it, advocacy groups that are already doing the work and are already doing the collecting the data. Groups that are already doing the work.
I think that I mentioned the 48 million people that don't have water. I think we just need to wipe their debt. I think that's one thing that people can be less stressed about, is knowing if they can pay their water bill. And if we can wipe their debt for 6 months or a year, let's just do it. We can only go 3 days without drinking water.
Right.
And there's too many vulnerable families in America, whatever their race, ethnicity, or class. It shouldn't be based off of what you can earn in a day if you can drink water.
Tell me a little bit more about the water barrel idea.
Yeah. So I made a video about this like 2 years ago and it went viral. So it's important. So if everybody in America gets a rain barrel, right, and it's really easy, you can buy it on Amazon, you can buy it on Walmart, I think even Home Depot or Lowe's, they all sell a rain barrel, and then you connect that to a reverse osmosis system, you'll always have water, right? Collect your own rainwater. And I know some people say, well, in my state it's illegal. Well, then change.
It's illegal?
And no, not in some states. In some states, not in Louisiana. We checked the law. Louisiana residents, it's not, but in some states it is. Maybe
that's ridiculous.
Because they want you to be dependent on the utility.
That's illegal. That law is illegal.
That's a law.
Unjust.
And that's where I said, so if you live in a state, tell your representative, change that bullshit law, because water should be accessible to everyone.
It's like saying getting suntan is illegal.
Yeah, it's like
somehow that's illegal.
But then the company's going to charge you for the sun cover. No,
what?
I think that it's supposed to be a public health thing, but we now have systems. This is back in the 50s maybe, but we have systems that you can buy online. You can go purchase them and get clean, potable water to drink. If you don't have the access to get a rain barrel, tell your representative to change it, because that's BS.
Are there grants
Yeah.
from the government that helps with this? No?
No, why would the government help you do something to be self-sufficient? No,
Really?
no, there's
Hey,
not.
You know what?
That's why I said, that's
water-
why the $1 million needs to go to this.
Right. So
Yes.
the water problem and the immigration problem is actually the same. The
Yeah.
government is saying we're not gonna fund nonprofits
Yeah.
to help immigrants anymore.
That's right.
Because why would we help you
Right.
go against us?
Right. And the irony
It's
is that when you don't fund either of these issues,
Yeah.
you end up hurting Americans anyway. Right. We all need water, and honestly, we all need immigrants for all kinds. But this country is made up of immigrants, right?
Wow.
So that's a part of the American fabric. So it is. Both of these things are important issues. So
Amazing.
yeah,
Follow, what is it? NOLA Water?
NOLA Water.
Follow NOLA Water
Yes.
on their Instagram and their podcast.
Yes.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye.
Bye.